Y'all ready for this? Y'all ready for this?
And welcome in again, my freaky darlings. How are you? Awesome lot. Hope you're all doing great. Hope your week's going well so far. So, on this episode, segment, whatever you want to call it, on this part, I think it's part 4 we're on now, whatever you want to call it, I'm going to do things a little bit differently. I'm going to sort of try and segment it off into little bitty stages. So, part 1, catch up, how I'm doing, how things are going. Part 2, this time we're going to go into a little bit of background on where I think things have started, where I think they're going to go, and then part 3, maybe the end of it, is going to be just on what I'm going to try and do to improve, and things that kind of bring me, or are supposed to bring me joy, and what I'm going to focus on. But we shall see. Might digress, might mix them all up, might do none of the segments whatsoever. Who knows? But let's go. So, part 1, catch up. Since last week, it has been what I am calling meh week, and it's been meh. Saturday, met up with a couple of family members, very good close friends who are my family. Like I've said before, I have a gamer family and I have my family who I choose. So, met with them on Saturday up in sunny Glasgow. Went a little bit of shopping, out for a meal, couple of drinks, that type of stuff. So, did do quite a few things. And it was good to get out and, out in the public eye, outside, the sunshine. But yeah, beats walking the dog, Puppers, who's currently down beside me, knocked out. Say knocked out, passed out as normal. Oh, sorry, did I disturb you? My bad. Anyway, so this, it's been my week. It's me being inside my own head. Just not thinking whatever I do is just not good enough. Doing the housework, doing the washing. Just sitting listening to even the wife yatter on about things. I just don't think I'm doing as much as I should be. She tells me differently, and obviously the Shadow Queen is the boss, but I don't believe it. I just don't. Again, it's really hard to put into words. I just don't feel like there's any oomph behind it, any, get up and go. I've tried, again, I'm reading every so often now, but it's not for long periods of time. Usually I used to read like 5-6 books a week. Now I'm down to like 2-3 books a week. Last week and this week I've read half of one, if you're lucky. I just can't get behind it. I've tried listening to music, I've tried meditating, I've tried just walking the dog and seeing where we end up, that type of thing. But nothing seems to click, nothing seems to do anything. Push past whatever barriers inside my head tell me that, you need to do more, you need to do better. And yes, I know people have told me over the last few videos, reach out and talk and things like that. I don't want to be that person. I don't want to be that. Burden's not the right word. I just don't want to put my crap on anybody else. Okay? Because if somebody's happy and joyful, you don't want to bring misery. And at the moment, I'm going to admit that's what I am. I'm bloody misery. All round, that's how I feel. I am just a big rain cloud over everybody's head. Yes, I know people are going to say, but you're not. And if people who know me goes, you reach out to us, you ask us if we're doing, if we need a word, if we need to talk, you're there, if you need an ear. That's the way I am. And there's a reason behind that's the way I am. Okay, I discussed this. I may get into this. If I do, it's a really hard subject for me. And if I ever go over it, you don't know why it would be a really hard subject for me. Few people know the story, few people don't. See, coming up into December, we're in November at the moment, but coming up into December, I hate Christmas. I hate the December period. I lost my gran, who, like I said before, raised me, is the person who made me who I am. And I lost a really good friend. Good few years ago now, but it's still there in the back of my mind. It's always the same. It's just, it's life. But try to snap out of this. It's hard at the moment. It really is. Okay, I've got a good base. If I need to reach out to people, if I'm really into that way, I can reach out to a lot of people. But I just keep it all bottled up inside, which is, people say, not good for the health, not good for your mental health. It's definitely not good for your mental health. But it's do as I say, not as I do. Yeah. So that's that part. Catch up. Yeah. See? Put a face on, you become sarcastic. That's what most people do. So, second part's going to be a little bit a background on me, myself, and I. So we've been thinking about this a lot over the last sort of week and a bit, and just want to be thinking about, well, where do I think this is all stemmed from? Where do I think this is going? Where do I think this needs to go? And I'm thinking all the way back, and believe it or not, I'm going way back to when I was in high school. And that's like, I'm 35. So it's not like it's just like 10 years, well, it's not like it's just like 5 years ago, it's quite a long time ago. But 12 odd years, probably more than that, 15 odd years, more than that. Anyway, my maths is bad. Anyway, it's a good few years ago. I'm thinking way back then, thinking, is there anything then that could have caused it? Is there anything then that's just it's been building up since then? Yeah, probably. Absolutely. I was a part of the popular crowd in school. Wahaha. Go figure. It's always the kid who was into D&D, into geeky stuff, games, and Star Wars, and Star Trek, and Warhammer, and all that stuff when I was younger. Music, writing, reading, everything. But I realised it wasn't until like coming towards the end of high school where I started thinking, so I've been thinking this for a while, where things changed. People properly changed. And I was one of them. Like I say, I had a small group of friends, not a large group of friends, both from where I lived in the Falkirk area and over the Fife side. Don't know where that is in Scotland. I had a good group of friends, for the most part, and I don't think it was then. If I'm being honest, I think it's when I started to lose touch with everybody, where I started isolating myself from people. Not everybody, but like, you might come and hang out. Yeah, not a problem. I'd go and hang out, and after it was done, I'd go home. That's it, done, dusted, finished. But after a while, you just start isolating. Oh, got to do a little twist here. My back hurts. But yeah, but it probably wasn't because until like my mid-20s, early 20s, mid-20s, where things started taking a little bit of a turn. By then, I'd lost one of my close friends. To this day, it still doesn't feel real. And also, my friends from high school had changed, they'd moved on, they'd moved away, they're doing their own thing. And it's probably around that point where I started thinking to myself, well, I am the way I am. A spade's a spade. Everything's black and white. There's no grey area. It's you like me for me, or you like me for my money, basically. And at that point, it was like say, I dated a good few people, not all of them, but most of them that I dated were suppose you'll call them red flags nowadays, but they were. They just weren't the right person for me. That's probably the way to explain it. They just wanted what they could get, which is possibly, well, again, was mostly me buying them stuff because that's the person I was. It's like, oh, you want this? Go ahead, buy it, done, dusted. See, that's not really just background. That's me just spouting stuff, which I think's affected it. But it's just to build up everything. Hindsight's always 20/20. So when you look back on anything, you can see where you went wrong. You can see what you could have done differently. You can see what you could have done better. And I'm not usually one for letting the past affect my future. But like I say, when I had the little tumble in September into October, well, you wouldn't call them mental barriers, but all the walls are sort of put up to like stop this from happening seem to have crumbled. And it's really hard to rebuild those once they're gone. Look, I've got the lovely, awesome wife of mine to make sure that I don't go off the deep end. Not that I'm planning on going off the deep end, but make sure I don't go off the deep end. So that's the main thing. That's the only thing I can think of that's keeping me currently sane at the moment. It's having her next to me, having the puppers, having the animals. Because he knows when there's something wrong. He's not left my side in weeks. Everywhere I go, he follows. But what I'm going to try and focus on is I'm going to pick a few things to do, be it just reading, letting my mind wander, taking the dog a proper walk, and just, doing things. I'm going to have to try and find something to put my energy into. A new hobby. Something different. And I know what I need to do, but knowing what you need to do and doing what you need to do is two different things. It's really, really hard. We're going to see where the mood's going to take us, because over the next couple of days I'm going to think about what I want to do, and then next week I'll tell you if it's worked or not. But yeah, this week has been a complete mind cluster bomb. That's it. My brain went melted. It's not been a good week for the most part. Like I said before, it's just thinking over and over again that you're not good enough. Things aren't happening. I know this part as well. This what do I call it? I'll figure out something. We'll call it part. This part 4 was supposed to be a bit more tailored and a bit more structured, and obviously it's not done that because I'm just blethering again. I'm just yeah. Next week one's going to be a bit better because I am going to, over the weekend, things like that, I am going to plan things out to go over what I want to go over and what I get across. I suppose we could just end it there instead of me just gibbering on and jabbering on. But yeah, hopefully things should start picking up inside my head anyway. I know the wife and I are going out again on Saturday. She needs to take her car to go and get fixed. We're going to go out together again, just jumping at a cafe and having that sort of time. But yeah, as always, thank you for listening to me just blether. It is much appreciated. But yeah, any comments, anything you want to say, you can put it in the comments, send me a message and things like that. I'm always open for suggestions on what to do and how to factor things in life. Any suggestions, what you want to hear from me or anything like that, please just let me know. But as always, thank you very much for stopping by. It has been a pleasure as always. And never forget, you're awesome, you're fantastic, and yeah, see you all on the other side. Have fun.